Thank you for listening to Lone Star Community Radio. This program was broadcasted and recorded live from the LSCR studios in downtown Conroe, Texas. Lone Star Community Radio is supported by listeners like you. Donate and sponsor today. For more information on getting involved with Lone Star Community Radio, contact us at lscrstudios@gmail.com or visit us online at www.irlonestar.com.
Welcome to the Texas Ticket Show. It's Armando with Carrie Joe.
Hi, glad to be here again.
Glad you're here, Carrie Joe. We're here with the Texas Ticket, and we're on Lone Star Community Radio every Friday at 1 o'clock. You can catch our newest downloads. We're always looking for folks that want to get on the show, sponsor the show, and support the show. Let's get on with this show. We've got one in store for you today. We've got, of course, Carrie Joe helping me out today. Local realtor.
Yes.
Is that the pronunciation? Realtor.
Realtor. That's
Realtor.
correct.
I know. Nobody says that. Realtor.
Realtor.
Realtor. Well, anyway, glad you're here. And you're out of Fish Creek area, the thoroughfare.
Yeah,
but
Magnolia, Conroe, the whole blend of Montgomery County. But, you know, you go where the money goes. And these days, nobody has to be at home and have to be at work. So they're like, I can live wherever I want because I work from home. So they tend to take me all over the world.
well, that's cool, you know. And
Yeah.
I think it helps to bring some attraction to some areas that maybe weren't so before because
Definitely.
of the commute.
Yes.
The commute.
Yeah.
105 West's been quite a commute lately, hasn't it?
Yuck.
God, that commute got a little different.
Yes.
But today, speaking of 105 West, there's a lot of things down there that are worth going through all that for and getting out to the lake area and the city of Montgomery. We're going to talk about all that on today's show. One of the things on today's show that we really wanted to focus on and with us today is ConroeBass.com. Owner is Robert Bainey. He's also one of the local realtor as well, but angler in every respect. We have him with us here today. Robert Bainey, welcome to the show. Welcome to the show, sir.
How's it going?
Good. How's the lake treating you?
Dude, it's amazing right now. It's prime, the lake is on fire, and the giants are biting.
Really?
Best time of year right now.
Is it? And that was one of my questions. Let me just scratch that off my list. When's the best time of the year for me to go fishing?
Right now. This month and into next month, the spawn is on and catching a lot of good fish right now.
Right. And then and you're talking about shallow, deep, or just everywhere?
Shallow mostly.
Shallow for the
A lot of
beds
shallow
and stuff?
fishing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're pulling up on beds, and we're looking at them.
Yeah, you can see them sight fishing,
yeah.
doing a little sight fishing?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And do you see any change from the previous year, like last year's positioning and where they were at?
Well, not so much that as much as, like, you know, some of the areas are a lot muddier this year just up north because we've had a lot of rain lately. But the main thing is the last few years, man, it's, you know, COVID, man, everybody and their brother bought a bass boat.
Oh,
And, man,
wow.
I'll tell you, they're out there.
Are they a
Those
lot
guys
more
are out-
fishermen on the
guys,
lake?
Yeah, guys are out there, and they're catching them too.
Yeah, I've been fishing a lot of the same beds that I normally fished, and just not getting the kind of, you know, usually at least they'll move my bait out of the way. You know what I mean? They'll get it out of there. We get that out of here. You know, they'll pick it up and they'll move it, and every now and then I'll get one by the dorsal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if I move fast enough, but you know, I'm not getting those tags in the same areas like I did last year. It is muddier. You're right, spot on. I'm standing in mud while I'm thinking this.
Well, it's just now getting into full swing, so you'll start seeing your bait moving a lot more than your
and I see a lot sun up, sun down. Is that just feeding time, or is that just me?
A lot of times it's just they like to feed during the lower light. They really start feeding, you know. A lot of it depends on the moon phase and everything else, you know, whether it's rained or not, whether water's muddy or not, you know.
Right, and you know that's crazy. He says that. Yeah, have you ever heard of the harvest moon, Carrie?
No.
It's October, November, right? In November, and you know the hippies got a few things right. Let me tell you, one of them is planting to the harvest moons and then lunar cycles and things like that. And you know they'll put cow horns, female, you know, the cow, and they'll stuff them with all kinds of herbs and whatnot to help the growth of the next season, right? And it's meant for fertility, things like that, and you know. But I have. You know, you get these weird full moons in October, November, big, giant, the harvest moon, they call it. And I have caught some of my biggest reds, some of my biggest trout, my biggest saltwater fish. Not necessarily fresh. I don't see much of a variation there as I do in salt. But when I have salt fish, I see huge variations in that lunar cycle and in that mammalian pull, I guess, that manipulates all the fish.
Yeah, I think it has an effect on everything.
They say it does. Yeah, they say it affects us too. And it's like it's mammalian. I might go, what the hell? How you spell that?
Just ask any policeman; he'll tell you. More arrests on a full moon than
Really,
people get a little crazy.
Yeah.
Kids are usually crazier at schools and
really, and then werewolves come
Yeah.
out. Yeah, I know. I've heard. Yeah. But now you also run the ConroeBass.com website and the Conroe Bass fishing tournaments that happen Tuesdays and Thursdays,
Yeah,
5 to 9.
yeah. We're actually, I think it's 5:30 this year.
5:30?
5:30 to 9. On Tuesdays and Thursdays. Tuesdays is the team event, so you take you can fish with 2 on Thursdays, but it's just one fish on Thursdays. So either you and your partner can split the money, or maybe both of y'all get a check. Sometimes you never know.
What's one fish on Thursday? A one fish stringer?
One fish stringer, that's it. It's biggest bass. Whoever gets the big bass,
It's a big
it's
bass
first
all the
place,
way.
and it pays 1 to 4, 1 to 5 people. So you can make quite a bit of money. And this last year, a lot of times somebody caught a 2-pounder, they got a check.
Wow, that's crazy.
It's some reason it's just harder on Thursdays. It's harder to catch them on Thursdays when you're fishing alone.
And you've been doing this a long time, right?
Oh,
You've been
yeah.
fishing out of Papa's and a few other locations
yeah,
through
we've
the
had
years.
a lot of different locations.
Yeah, but
But this year we're going to Margaritaville.
that's what I've been
And
hearing. The
it's gonna
rumor
it's
is
going to be nice because they put in all new docks on the inside of the cove, and we're going to go out of the inside of the cove, and so we'll have protected water. Plenty of room for all the. We'll have in this at least 60 boats in some of these tournaments, and plenty of room to park them all.
Nice.
That
Yeah,
can become
that-
a problem, but it's going to
well,
be.
it'll help the fish on my side of the lake because when
Well,
y'all pick them up and bring them home to me, and drop them off in my backyard right there by
Yeah.
Margaritaville, I'm a happy guy because
Yeah,
those big guys, who knows where they came from?
some of those fish stick around too.
do you have to have a boat to fish in these tournaments or can you fish off the dock?
Well, technically, I guess you could fish off the dock if you wanted to, but you need some way to keep the fish alive. You got to have some kind of live well or aerobic system
Oh, I see.
to keep the fish alive.
But
to
one
weigh 'em in.
fish, I got a shot
I
there.
mean-
Yeah, one fish. I
Okay,
could pull a
maybe
nice
the-
bass out of there before they
could.
come back. I
A
promise you.
little cooler.
I
with
fish
your-
there a lot, and there's on the other side of Margaritaville, that little cove you're talking about, where the tree line is, where the choke is. You can go on either side of that and fish inward, and it's a nice. Well, maybe not so much the right, but the left towards the parking lot. It's got a nice little corner back in there, some foliage hanging over the water.
We don't need to talk about specifics.
Oh yeah, oh, my bad, my bad.
We'll just let people find their own spots and leave it at that.
There's this little spot.
Damn it! It's gonna get real. The fishing is gonna get real crowded in that cove. Believe me, when we start dumping all those fish in there.
Oh yeah, and every year there's the big Bass Pro tournament, right?
Oh yeah.
And one of the qualifiers is weight by year, right? And you can get certified weight with you, right?
Yeah, you can.
To qualify.
Yeah. Well, we're having what is it? I think it's the 2nd of March is when the Conroe Big Bass tournament's coming. And on that one too, there's no pre-qualifications. You just sign up and fish, and they're doing it for 4 days this year. And
That's the Conroe Big Bass tournament.
that's the. I was trying to look it up on my phone here, but it's
April Plaza, right?
It's going to be, well, no, this one you can put in anywhere, but you go to I believe the weigh-in's going to be at Papa's.
Okay.
Papa's on the lake. But it's 4 days. You pay your money and you fish 4 days, and you have a chance every hour of winning money each hour with,
What's the cost to get in? You think? Roundabout. We won't hold you to it.
I want to
Don't
say
hold you to it.
say it's probably around 300
To get
somewhere
in?
around there. Yeah.
And it's for the full 4 days.
Yeah.
And is it a 2-man team?
No, this is individual. It's just one-
Individual,
yeah,
okay.
It's you can weigh in. You can weigh in one fish every hour, basically. But it's the biggest fish per hour. Or the biggest. I think they pay like 10 places each hour. So the 10 biggest fish per hour get a check. And you can weigh in every hour if you
Wow,
caught them, if you
okay.
could catch that many, you know. But it gets a little tougher with all those boats on the water, you know.
Yeah.
Everybody's got to fish somewhere.
And y'all do the
like
draw.
105 traffic.
Right. Right. Now, let me ask, since both of you are realtors, and I got two of those in the house at the same time, and you know, how often would you say here in the Conroe area that somebody comes to you and says, "I'm a fish angler and I want the best possible opportunity for fishing"? What houses would you? Do people approach you that way?
Not so much.
No,
Usually,
no anglers. No. It's usually a second thing. Like, I like the house.
It's
Great.
usually
I
like,
can fish too.
I would like
and
to see the lake from my house. Can I put
Yeah.
my boat there? That kind
Well,
of thing.
and
That is nice.
you know, if they want waterfront, it's more a matter of what's available
Yeah.
because there's not a lot available. So,
Yeah.
you know, you got to take what you can get. You know, and some of the best fishing holes are already taken.
I would think so. Right.
Yeah.
Well, so there's a lot of, I guess, communities that have built tributaries coming off, like lanes, you know, that go into these different. Do you ever fish in these lanes?
Oh yeah, yeah.
How they look? I mean, doing any work in there?
Well, you know, the ones that where they're recently built, you know, there's still some lots available and stuff in there, but.
No, I
and
meant
there's
as
fish
far
in
as
there, too.
fish. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, there's-
some new lots coming up on the new
Well,
lanes.
they-
Yeah, I got it. But you
It
know,
usually takes an average of about 3 to 5 years of them building one of those canals before the fish will really get in there. Good.
I see.
You know, but for some reason, that's just been my experience. You know, they build a nice canal, it may not be any fish in it for a couple years. You know, till they get used to it.
I get
Until they
mixed
get
thoughts.
scared and they see all the boats and they're like, where can I go that doesn't have any boats?
Well, I think about all the turned soil down there, you know, and I'm thinking, okay, it's been tilled a bit, it's been turned. There's got to be some, you know, some attractions coming out of the dirt, you know, that come out when
Probably no like moss and stuff in there yet for them to
maybe
feed on.
no,
I
you
don't
don't
know.
see that as a big draw. You're not rushing to these canals.
I don't know. It may be more a matter of just fish have their daily routine and they go through that and they go to the same places over and over and they don't.
That's
I
just
don't-
the
I
guy
don't know- I
fish.
don't
The
know if-
women fish wander about a bit.
Yeah,
Yeah, the guy
well,
fish go
yeah.
one.
Food, sleep.
Yeah,
She's
food,
complaining, why do we never go over there?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Come here.
Yeah.
I don't know why fish are this way. Yeah, they'll do that. I don't know, but I've been really you know, down with that sight fishing thing. I mean, you mentioned it when I was younger. You know, as you've been coaching me to fish, and I kind of thought that was just some term. You know, they just say that maybe they stand up on their boat on a sunny day with a flashlight or something. I don't know, but in the shallows on those beds that are only like this deep, you know, a couple of feet, maybe a foot and a half, you see him perfectly. You know, it's like, there he is. You know, you ain't kidding. I see him pick my bait up, move it over there, and throw it down again. I'm like,
He's
really?
li- he's
What's
li-
he doing? You know, why does he keep doing that? Like, I'll get him this time. You know, oh.
You bought the $10.99 bait. You should have bought the $10.99 bait.
I'm not allowed to mention my bait on the show. I use onion. Yeah. No, I was told not to.
When I was a kid, it was hot dogs and corn.
That's
It was like-
catfish. That's catfish.
like,
Hot dogs will work. You
Can't
get a
argue.
nice catfish.
Can't argue.
So, and did it work out all right?
I mean, yeah, but I don't
Yeah.
fish. I'm not.
Your son's a marine biologist, though,
Yes,
right?
he
Or
just graduated
just
from
graduated. Yeah,
A&M as
he's
a marine biologist.
officially a marine biologist
He's
now.
official. Yes, he's actually leaving to go to Alaska tomorrow. I drop him off at the airport at 5 a.m. and he's going to be on a fishing boat, one of the big, giant, massive ones that monitors the big fishing companies. Make
Oh, wow.
sure that they don't kill the dolphins.
They don't kill the dolphins.
You know,
Like, yeah.
harpoon whales and all that kind of stuff. He just makes sure that they're catching the right amounts and how many they are catching, so that they can monitor that they don't.
Well, that's cool.
We don't run out of them.
And is that a corporate job? I mean, job?
I mean, it's job. They're paying him.
Oh, good.
He's
Yeah.
excited that he's
Take it all day.
We thought, why are you going into marine biology? You'll never make a dime. You're just going to be some
Gone
guy.
immediately.
You
Gone
know?
immediately,
And
yeah.
he's actually got one of the most paid jobs. So
That's outstanding. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Maybe you'll get a pool house eventually.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I'm staying in your pool house, son. What? Don't argue with me. Don't. I'm staying in the pool house. That's it. It's final. I've made the decision. I'll be retiring there, by the way. Okay. So, Margaritaville, that's a big jump for Conroe Bass. I mean, that is a big move. I love the area. I think that cove is perfect. It's ideal for the tournament. I think it's real comforting for the residents too, because a lot of anglers come from there, or around 1097, or just I guess most of your tournament fishermen will boat over, and their fans and whatnot, of course, can come up to the front there and shoot those shots.
Well, and that gives the wives, there's a few women that fish, but I mean, there's a lot of the wives that don't. They want something to do while their husband's out fishing, so they can take the kids and go to the water park, and
Yeah, and there's just tons to do. Even if you just walk that place, it's pretty.
Yeah.
And over there on Tuesdays you're gonna do a 3-fish stringer, and on Thursdays you'll do one. That's the plan so far.
We're starting up. It's going to be the March 14th is when the time changes on the 12th. So the 14th, that Tuesday, is when we kick off starting the Tuesday tournaments, and we're doing. I think we're doing 20 or 22 tournaments this year, and then we'll have a big championship at the end. And there's usually can win quite a bit of money in the championships. And then Thursday will be the 16th. We'll be starting the Thursdays individuals.
And those numbers are based on, winnings are based on how many participants there are typically.
Yeah, typically, yeah. But normally you're talking about thousands of dollars you can win, even on a regular, the fact is, you catch one good one on Thursday, you can win $1,000.
Well, we've gone after the show production and some of the other things we do here from studio. We've gone directly over to follow you about and watch some of these tournaments. I'm seeing 30, 40 plus boats every time I go. So it's interesting because they raffle off the order in which you depart.
Yeah, you draw a number.
Yeah, and then not raffle, draw.
Yeah, so it's like a raffle.
Yeah, and then they go out in this particular order and fish until the timer runs out. They all got to be back.
They all got to be back and have their fish in line before 9 o'clock.
And alive.
And well, they need to be alive. Yeah.
No dead fish.
Well, if you get away with one dead fish, but if you got two, it's going to cost you some weight.
Oh, really? So there's penalties for that sort of thing.
Because
that's good. That's not
once
the
in a
intent.
while you're going to lose one. I mean, when you're catching hundreds of fish throughout your your tournaments.
Is that because you put them back?
Yeah, we put them all back in the lake.
Okay.
Yeah, and catch them
Catch
again.
and release?
Yeah.
So somebody who got last year got a 10-pounder can maybe
You
get
may
a
catch
12-pounder.
You may catch the same
guy.
I got a real serious question for you. So, how long can a bass live after you feed it a rock?
Well, it
Like
depends
if
on
I
the-
feed it
if
like
it-
a lug nut about this big, and I just help it eat that, and then I.
heavier?
How long do you think it stays alive after that sort of ingestion?
Well, my history with
I don't know is the answer.
my history is would say that it's either until he redeposits it back into the lake,
Or it's just going to rust.
or
it'll
it may
slow
just
death.
stay in his stomach. And you just-
Okay, all right, interesting to know. And I say that
Might be hard to get it in there unless it's a largemouth bass.
it better be. Yeah. Have you ever caught a gold bass? The yellow ones?
you talking about the yellow perch, the
bass.
the yellow bass. You're talking about the white bass, but they're really yellow.
Yeah,
They're
they
really,
look gold.
they're
They look like
smaller.
yeah.
Yeah, no, we've caught some of them too once
That's
in a while,
crazy.
but we don't catch many of them. We try to catch largemouth all the time, but
Same. Yeah.
but you get some stripers and hybrids and stuff once in a while. Make you think you got a big bass and then you can't weigh them in.
You ever go monster hunting?
Monster just for big fish, you mean?
Just go after something crazy like the biggest gar you
That's
can
what.
get.
Well, not for garb.
Just big, that kind of fishing though. You ever go for the Lake
Drumfish.
Conroe monster?
No,
You ever thought about it?
no. We mean once in a while, guys will catch a giant fish, just bass fishing, and end up catching a 60, 70-pound catfish. Sometimes,
I've been watching a lot of these YouTube shows about these guys going to spillways and stuff like that, and looking for spillway monsters. It's like
Or
those.
noodling. Have you ever seen that?
You ever done
Oh
that?
my gosh.
Oh, I wouldn't do it.
Would not stick my hand
I
in
wouldn't do
it.
it.
No, I'm not sure what's in there. I mean, you
I don't even care if I know what's in there. I can
I'm
stick
not
my arm
sticking
down
my
there.
arm in there.
Why would you think it's a catfish in that hole? I mean, really?
The line and the hook and the bait.
I'm definitely not sticking. So, any alligator on Lake Conroe you cross paths with?
Oh yeah, there's lots of alligators.
You-
We were talking about that the other night. We figured we figure there's a fairly healthy population of them. There's a lot more than people realize, but because they don't just show themselves all the time,
It's not like Florida,
And
right?
no, it's not quite as bad as Florida, but we've got a fair number of them. You figure a lot of these canals, like that go way back. They've got some alligators in the back of them, and then you go up the river, and there's some up the river, and it's kind of the further away you get from civilization, the more alligators you tend to see.
I was
But
talking to a fishing guide the other day, and he was telling me something similar to what you're saying. He was like, every time I go out, it's like if I spread the word about my, fishing agency, that we take you fishing and for hire, and people see me about with all these big fish, they start to recognize my boat. So when they see me where I'm fishing, I come back the next day and they're there, it's like, that was the guy that eyeballed me all day yesterday, and it's like, he's there over my weekend. How do you avoid this kind of thing? I mean, is there any way to change your...
There's not. There's not any way. And sometimes it could be one of your best buddies, and he tells his friend, and so on and so on. Next thing you know these 5 guys, and they're all at your spot.
No, I know all you fellas. What's going on?
Yeah, it happens that way. And a lot of it's like, some of the better spots, like, Papa's Road Bit, everybody knows about it, right? So, whoever gets there first, and,
There you got, and it's 25 feet around the boat while fishing.
Yeah, you can't fish within 25 feet of someone else, unless without permission.
Yeah, they can wave you in.
Yeah, they can wave you in or wave you through or whatever. Yeah, and you can't, of course, block the back of a creek or something from people going way back there or whatever. You can't just sit there in the middle and try to be a troll and say, "Oh, you can't go past here."
Yeah,
yeah.
Stand back.
Yeah, buddy.
That's cool, man. So you're fishing coming up next week. Will you be next week? When do you start at Margaritaville?
We're going to start on the 14th.
The 14th.
Yeah, when we start
March 14th.
Yeah, March 14th.
So
when we
14th
start the weekday series, we'll be moving over there.
And is it a fresh start on March 14th in some way?
Yeah, well, I mean, everybody's wait starts over.
On March 14th, everyone's wait starts over.
Yeah, everybody starts over for the year, and and it's cumulative for your points for the championship. It's by weight, so you got to catch some fish to make the championship. It's not just a walk breeze through kind of deal, because the championships, first place is going to get up there usually around over 10,000 or so.
So if you're a recent boat owner, like I just went out to maybe Texas Boats and Outdoors over there in Willis on 1097, and I bought me a brand new fishing boat, and then I said, okay, for the sake of I'm going to start doing some fishing. We're going out. And then you did it. Do you think that this would be a great way and a great day to get started?
Oh, yeah, by far.
I would think so. I mean, ideally, I think that's okay. Let me just put all my favorite pieces together and see what I would plan. And honestly, that's how I'd plan it. And it seems so simple that, why do you need to explain this to anybody? Well, you kind of do. I mean,
especially newbies that have never done anything before.
And there's a million excuses a fellow that likes to fish puts in front of himself before he gets in his car and goes down to or his boat and goes down to the fishing tournament and say, I got this.
Right.
And especially if it's his first time. You know what I mean? He's, won't have to let me do that. Oh, hell with it. I ain't going. You know what I mean? I don't know how many times a guy would say that. You know what I mean? And I'm sure there's a lot of fellas out there that have that same mindset and that same, but it's super smooth, super easy to walk on. You're a great guy to work with and make it comfortable for these new anglers. And I mean, not easy, but comfortable. I mean, I do see comfort in understanding. I mean, you work with them and explain stuff to them in a manner that has helped me along with my bass fishing. I was all cat before I met you, and I was like, man, I can't keep touching these. And we went out a few times and just drop it right over there in those cattails. Oh God! What the? How'd you know he was there? Well, like, I have no idea. And sure enough, just doing exactly what he told me and. Fish on, and it's just like, wow, so confidence levels change, certainty. I mean, you can fish for a long time and think I'm not good at this.
Well, yeah.
Well,
a lot of people do.
You see people all the time just hanging out.
The simplicity after you figure out a few little this and that's, I mean, gets real nice and easy. And if you went and made that investment in a boat, have some fun with it. I would suggest everybody, Margarita's a beautiful place, safe place to bring your boat, safe place to come and go, and they even got their own marina there. You can get a stall and keep it there, if you felt like it. It's a great place to fish, a great place to bring the family out. And is this a single or double? yours, Conroe Bass, Margaritaville. Can you bring another guy? Two-man team, right?
Yeah, and you can fish two even on Thursdays, even though it's one fish. You can fish two people, and y'all can each weigh in a fish.
The biggest one is the
Yeah,
one
well,
that
the biggest one's
going
going
to
to get. Well, no, you could each weigh in a fish to get first and second place if you wanted to. You know?
Okay.
But yeah, there's only going to be one big fish.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's see. So they'll come down there. What's it cost to enter?
I believe it's going to be $120 a team,
$120 a team. Okay. And
and then
that
Thursdays.
starts March 14th and Tuesdays and Thursdays at Margaritaville. You can come out there, you can get involved, and you can find them, of course, at conroebass.com.
Yeah.
And that'll have a calendar of a bunch of stuff, a whole lot of things you can do there. I'm excited. I'm ready to go get my hook wet.
Well, the easiest way to learn is to go fish tournaments because you're going to see all these guys and you're going to see their boats and what they're throwing. And hell, that guy caught them and he had all crankbaits on the front of his boat, you know. So.
Yeah, and I'm looking every time I walk down there. That's all I'm looking at. What's on the end of that line?
Yep.
You know,
Of course,
and
he probably put the good ones away, but when he
Yeah.
really caught them on, he put away.
I'm still working on my crankbaits. I'm all soft plastics, and you know, I change colors, change type of soft plastic.
Yeah.
You know, I change set, but not really going to any of the other things a lot. You know, do you think that's a bad thing?
You got to find what works for you. You know, you go through
Well,
the
I found
whole
something that
regimen.
did work, but then I never went anywhere else. You see, because that doesn't mean the other things don't work for me. I just never went there. I
Right.
stopped at the first thing you taught me that did work.
Yeah.
So and that's where I stayed. You know what I mean? So
And it's
like,
still
I'm
one of the
still
best.
there.
So.
Good.
It's
Okay.
still hard to beat, you know. So you pretty much, if you throw it all day, you're gonna get bit, you know.
You're gonna give in, yeah. And I'm focusing on sunups and sundowns, and I'll tell you right now is a great time for even if you don't have a boat, you can go right out and shore fish. He's letting us know it's in the shallow waters where the fish are biting, and that's been happening all right now is the top of the season for that, and you can work that agenda for what, a couple more weeks, a month.
Oh yeah, at
least.
least a couple more, yeah. And then, yeah, that's not the only thing. You got every other kind of fish in the world you could think of in this lake. You know, you can go after the monster gar if you want to, or
Every now and then, you know, every now and then.
yeah, you could. You know, we've got some. I'm telling you, well, there's paddlefish in the lake. There's still a few. We've got some great big paddlefish in the lake out there. Of course, they rarely ever get caught because there's only a few of them. But we've got giant catfish, great big, huge carp.
Monster
you know,
carp nowadays.
oh yeah, there's carp in here longer than your leg.
So if I brought a fishing pole, a 5-gallon bucket with an aerator, and a pocket full of plastics, you know, and $120, I'm good to go to play ball down there at Margaritaville.
Well,
We'll talk about it later. But I think we're warm, right?
you're close to. We'll let you in the park. We'll let you in the park to play. But
yes. There you have it, folks. You shore anglers.
yeah,
You're probably not going to get the big fish from there.
I don't know, man.
You
I
give
don't
me
know.
your
money.
money. Yeah, I'll take your money, Armando.
your money.
I'll take your money, Armando. Don't you worry.
Just say you can't catch
Yeah.
those fish, Armando. It's not possible for you to be competitive from the shore. Say it out loud, and then I'll give you my $120, and you'll have to let me play ball with the big boys. But
Well,
I'll
if you're
be on
gonna
the
win,
shore.
if you're gonna win, you're gonna need a bigger bucket.
You're gonna need a bigger What's not gonna 5-gallon bucket?
You're not gonna fit no 20 pounds of bass in a 5-gallon bucket, Armando. I mean, you might be able to get a check on Thursday though with one keeper. You know.
Yeah. Okay, so Thursday would be my day for a shore angler, you know, because you only need to catch one. I don't think 3-fish stringer is going to be competitive for on Tuesdays or realistic.
Go
Yeah.
on a dock that goes all the way out in the water.
Yeah, you could.
You'll look out there and I'll be like, coming out of the bushes. Then back in the bushes.
Put your waders on.
Just when we thought we had this spot all to ourselves, and
Some guy
Armando comes walking through the national forest.
And then he walks out of the woods just to cast,
It
and then
says
back.
you can't put your boat within 25
Yeah.
feet.
Clear out, folks!
Like,
Clear
I'm
out! You know, you
swimming.
take the whole gun, swim out to the middle, put a diver down flag on your back, you know, and then just start fishing with the waders on and everything. And
I have a kayak. You want to borrow?
bam!
Hey, there you go.
There
She's
you
got a
go.
kayak.
It's
It's got a well. That thing's got a well in the front. Yeah, there is a well.
It's a 2-seater, so you can make something happen.
Gosh, you get a big enough fish in that thing, it'd move the boat. You know, whoa, he's upset.
Yeah.
Well, Robert, thank you for coming on the show today. And I'm going to direct everyone to ConroeBass.com. Let them come out and see it. And I'll come out and visit on the 14th. March 14th, ConroeBass.com. $120 to enter 2-fish tournament on Thursdays and Tuesdays and Thursdays. Thursdays, 1 fish. Tuesday, 3-fish stringer. Come on out and join in. Bring your boat. Bring your friend. Let's have some fun. Bring the whole family out. ConroeBass.com. Folks, we'll be right back after this.
Lone Star Radio on my mind. So won't you kick your feet up if you have a minute?
Listen in Mondays at noon to hear Conroe news from local nonprofits, businesses, upcoming events, Conroe Park events, news stories, and information that matters to you with your host, Margie Taylor of Taylorized PR. For more information about being a guest, visit irlonestar.com/ConroeCulture.
Lone Star Radio on my mind.
Welcome back to the Texas Ticket. Hey guys, welcome back. We're here with Texas Mondo and Carrie Joe. We're going to go over the Punch Your Texas Ticket segment of the show.
All right.
Sooner or later, I'm going to train wreck that. Punch Your Texas Ticket train wreck of the show. Yeah, so.
Ticket. Okay.
And we're also going to do a little shout outs and stuff like that. But this part of the show, we really like to focus on some Texas-based stuff, happenings, and other events. And our previous show, we kind of went over a lot of the things on the calendar for the month of February, as we had a lot of things happening there, and just really kind of getting into February through some of the March events. But one thing we did miss was Montgomery County's gem in the crown, which is the Cynthia Mitchell Woodlands Pavilion, that has so many, really cool artists come so often, and they're within reach. I mean, I get starstruck. I want to go see these guys.
Foreigner.
Yeah, and I even like the tribute bands. You know
Yes.
what I mean? And they're so good. They sound just like them. I'm loving it. I'm bringing up my lighter. and,
Almost
you
better
know,
sometimes. You're like, oh, they still sound like they did back then.
Sometimes, and then even the failing attempts are always entertaining as hell to watch. I don't know. She's not even close, but I'm loving this. Sounds like somebody totally different. Loving it. So we have a few things we want to bring up and talk about today. And ladies first. I'm I'll let you do it for you first.
I get to be the guinea pig.
So here's some events in our area
Okay.
and the surrounding areas every now and then.
Well,
and-
I picked some real pretty local
Cool.
little events. So Crichton, the historic Crichton
Oh,
Theater
yes.
right here in downtown Conroe.
Oh, it's fun.
It's the last weekend to catch the show The Heights. It's a musical. It's about home, family, and finding where you belong. But again, this is the last weekend to catch it. The cast and crew are pretty awesome. I'm
Cool.
a little biased. The lead guy in the show plays drums for me in my band, and my
Nice.
guitarist is also in it in the chorus and does dancing and all that kind of stuff too. So it's a
It's a tearjerker, or is this
no, I wouldn't say that.
It's not.
No.
Is it comedy? It's
Yeah,
not
it's a little of everything. It's just kind of it's just
real
a
life stuff.
wholesome, yeah.
real life. Okay. I wanted to focus on some of the stuff going on at Cynthia Mitchell Woods Pavilion because there was just so much stuff that was like, oh, I hadn't heard this was coming. And then usually I find out when it's already gone.
Gone. That's me
Did
too.
you see ZZ
Oh,
Top?
did you go to the concert? And I went, oh, I didn't know they were coming. I probably would have gone.
Yeah, right. So especially like some of our, old day favorites, some classic throwbacks, or some current favorites, that kind of bring up a few. So I'm going to mention those, and I'm going to spread those amongst the other local events that we have going on. One, of course, as a reminder, we had Robert Bainey on the show today from ConroeBass.com. March 14th, the tournaments start fresh and anew. All fishermen are welcome, and fisherwomen. It's $120 to get in the tournament. Starts March 14th at Margaritaville. You can check that out at ConroeBass.com. They fished out of there Tuesdays and Thursdays. Tuesdays, there are 3 fish. Thursdays, there are 1 fish stringer. And this is the first one, the qualifier for the big end-year tournament that will happen when the whole calendar goes around again. But March 14th, ConroeBass.com, Margaritaville. You can check that out there. I wanted to throw in a few. There's I think they're calling it the funk phenomena. You know, yeah, more stay in the time. Remember more stay in the
Okay,
time?
yeah.
Jesse.
do.
Now, Jerome. You know what I'm talking about? Jungle Love. You know what I'm talking about?
Rio, Rio.
That's it. Yeah. Okay, so more stay in the time at 5:27 at Cynthia Mitchell Woods Pavilion. Now, I'm thinking Shaka Khan is going to be there and a few others. It's a funk phenomena. But, you know, when they list these things on Google, sometimes they'll separate them all out so it looks like individual concerts.
Right.
But in reality, it's the funk phenomena, the
One
Funk
big
Fest.
festival.
Yeah, with more stay in the time Saturday, May 27th at 6 p.m. They'll start. Tickets go on sale Friday, February 10th, which has already happened. Register received. Now, I don't know all the other bands that are there, but he is not by himself. So let me assure you,
Got a whole funky crew coming with them.
other than the time, right? And on that note of the time, you know, side note, on March 12th, we're gonna fall back for the last time.
I just found out. Oh my gosh, that's wonderful.
The last fallback
Yeah.
of current Texas chronological history.
I can finally set the clock in my car and not be an hour off all the time because I set my clock once.
Fascinating.
And
That's
I have
didn't
yet
even
to
think about
change
that
it.
yet.
I don't have to worry about it
Don't worry, in
anymore.
a year we'll be right on point. Yeah, it's like that oven's gonna be on the mark come fall.
And how am I going to market it now? That's one less time that I can market. For
Rather than the
businesses.
power's
Hey,
been on and off.
Don't forget to turn your clocks back.
Don't
have to think of
forget,
something
this
else.
is when we used to turn our clocks
Yeah.
back. You know, I don't know where would that graduate, but it's gonna there'll be something next year at this time about why we not doing it that
Yeah.
day that we normally did it. But anyway, March 12th, we're turning them back for the last time. So just keep that in mind when you plan your March and spring outings and whatnot to plan accordingly. There is a on April 21st through 23rd at Margaritaville. So I kind of wanted to keep those out of the way before we went to Cynthia. Yeah, oh Cynthia, you know. So they have the boat show, the Margaritaville Boat Show, 21st through 23rd. That's at Margaritaville. You can just search Margaritaville Boat Show and get all the information you need to find there. That's what I'm told. Put it in Google, Margaritaville Boat Show, boom, or go to the Margaritaville website. And there's also a masterminds class over at Hunger Crush. Now, Hunger Crush is regularly holding these masterminds classes. And they're everything from, I don't know, how to do your end of year taxes, but they're on point to what's happening now. They're not just
Okay.
generally, let's talk tax, you know. No. You know what, I would rather
to
not,
talk about
you
that
know.
all the time?
So they're on point with crucial happenings in the timeline a business owner runs into these mastermind classes. Unlike the, mastermind real estate classes are always about just high dollar brokers or high dollar realtors with high volume that teach you this tips and
Right.
tricks, that they do to
How to get people.
yeah, how to sell homes. I mean, how to move some real estate. And every now and then,
How to
there's
do it without your money. There's a million of those out there.
there is, and some of them are there's value. You can always get a cherry out of there somewhere, But little bits of information, and little tidbits that somehow in your subconscious later you whip it out and go, "No, I heard about a way you could do this," And so the Hunger Crush Masterminds class always has some of those things going on, and they're usually life related to the timeline or what's happening. This one, it's coming up March 15th. It starts at 9 a.m. and they're going to do a creative business plan workshop, and they're actually going to work on one. So you'll be beginning a business plan. Starts at 9 a.m. and they've got some keynotes in there that are outstanding. You can go to Hunger Crush to find a little more about that. Be Local is event there, and Hunger Crush holds that I think every week or every other week or once a month, I believe. And you got another one.
Well,
I'll let you go before I
The
keep
Montgomery
going.
County Home and Outdoor Living Show
Okay.
is March 4th and 5th. So if you own a home, you can go to this place. I guess you don't even have to own a home if you want to still go and see a whole bunch of different vendors selling stuff for homes and outdoor living. Maybe you have a barbecue at your apartment complex. I don't know. And you might need something better. But the outdoor home and living show. And I saw that on that Sunday, veterans get in free. So that's kind of a nice little
Sunday
thing.
veterans getting free.
Otherwise, it's only like $8 or $9. at
Lone
the
Star
door.
Convention
Lone
Center.
Star Convention
Okay.
Center, and it's like 9 to 5 Saturday and Sunday, the 4th and 5th.
Super, and that's been a staple show for a long time. And there are other home shows out here and other shows around the country, and they tour. They just go around, and every community needs its home show or shows, and so there are so many things in these deals, like AstroTurf for your patio.
Yeah.
The way your new big screen TV and rolls up to the side of your bed, and because the foot table brings it up,
Right.
which I don't even know what to call it, a foot table. We don't have a table there. There's no table at the end of my bed. But this table, it has your TV in it. It's like,
Just
oh,
right up.
okay.
Maybe I need one.
And better. Maybe the big heart shape that rolls around in circles and plays Love Boat music, the whole time, and bubble maker. All kinds of things
Yeah.
there. You can find some crazy stuff, seriously, that are way beyond rebuilding your house or necessarily just the garden. But that's the primary
Right.
focus. The things she mentioned are certainly, from
And
windows
lots
to
of
doors.
Local vendors too, local
Yeah.
people who actually go to this, and you can meet vendors that are
I enjoy them. And there are guys in there that cook the whole time. I like it because I'm over there just sitting there. I'm like the only guy in the audience, so I know.
like going to Costco or Sam's Club on a Sunday, because you can go from place to place and get the little treats.
If you go, or the first guy there, the first thing you do, I found out, is you go to the lady that's cooking and showing off the pots and pans, who's got food cooking on all the grills, and she's like preparing for the show. So you just be her first class, and it's maybe you and another couple, and she's
Fresh food.
she's bringing out a whole chicken, and so it really cuts down on some of the food costs for the day, and then just ask a lot of questions, out loud in the audience. Like, does it come in teal? Yeah. That's a great question, Armando, for the 5th time. Yeah. Yes.
Thanks for coming back.
Would this be an ideal
going
gift for my
around.
grandmother? Absolutely, Armando. This would be a great gift for your grandma. I'm glad you asked again. Yeah. You've been thinking, I just ask those questions that can't be denied.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, just those. Is there a warranty on this product?
Right. Lifetime.
Question.
Is it dishwasher safe? I'm sold.
Tim, it's dishwasher safe. You got me.
Yes. It's only 10 payments of $99.
I'll take it. Yeah, that's always great. So I guess something more in line of things that I agree with and that I would like to spearhead would be the Fishing and Outdoor Show at NRG. Yeah, and that's going on March 5th at 6 p.m.
Okay.
I'm sorry, March 1st through March 5th. So March 1st.
Yeah, the whole time.
And if you haven't been to one of these things, it is super cool. I mean, for me, I'm a kid in a candy store. It's like the old Toys R Us
But you still don't own a boat.
man, you get
But
one there.
I was going to
Yeah,
say that you get suckered into buying one so you can be in the other tournament.
and it gives you a vision of what is to come in the fishing industry.
Right.
The things I way can't afford and the things that I now can afford.
Like the old fish finders that had little dots on them that you weren't sure if that was a fish or trash.
There's
going
something
by.
down there. There's something down there.
I think it's 12 feet.
I think we knew there
And
was
now you're,
something
like,
down there when we left the house.
looking at the fish and they're like smiling at you with pictures.
yeah.
and taking selfies. Hi.
Yeah. So that fishing show, I mean, everything from T-shirts to lures to fishing rods to boats to safety gear, safety instructions, decorative thing, anything that has to do with fishing in any way, coolers. One thing I never see at fishing shows, just a little bit of advice to any of you vendors out there that are watching the show, fishing kits.
Really?
Fishing kits, yeah. Every time I go to these
Like
things.
a tackle box?
Tackle box.
Okay. I would think there'd be tons of people there.
You would
doing that.
think. There's not. There's not. And you know, it's really awkward that there isn't. I mean, there's everything that goes in the tackle box,
Okay.
you know,
But
but
nobody makes a tackle box. that
there are
they
no
wanna-
tackle box. So if you're looking to sell some goods
Maybe
at that show, there
Arctic needs to get in on that, right? Yeti,
it.
Arctic.
and you
They
know,
need to,
everything
like,
at these shows are
do fishing
so some are priced in a way that you just show pricing. So you're just like, wow. And
Yeah.
well, no, we don't have to pay anybody to sell it to you. You know what I mean? You came straight to the manufacturer. In some ways, it is a much better price than you find retail. So that being said, you can also find, the opposite in some vendors.
That's
that
good.
they've jacked up a price because we had to pay for this booth. Right? Which to me, I think it is. It is whatever the business owner has to do in order to be present, and he can go for more branding. But who knows? But I do think that whole wide world of sports is in My Life Aquatic is well represented at these NRG fishing shows. The place is huge, houses a lot of booths and stuff, a lot of things out there. And you mentioned how the new band may be better than the old one. Well, this is not one of those.
Okay.
The tribute band is not better than the original,
Okay.
but they're good.
But they're good. Okay.
Very good. And I don't think anybody could say that about this particular bunch.
Okay.
So May 21st, Fab Five at Bernhardt Winery, which is
Yeah.
a Beatles tribute band. And
They are good. And they
Fab Five's amazing, but
They're
they're
fun.
not that amazing. They won't beat.
They won't beat the Beatles.
They won't beat the Beatles, yeah. But they're in contention. It's a contender. I mean, they're very, very, very good. But it's almost sacrilegious to say that they're better than the Beatles themselves. Nobody.
Whoa.
Yeah. Whoa. Wow. You
Hold your
crossed the
horses,
line there on
yeah.
that show of yours. But now you're going to be at Bernhardt.
Yeah, I'm going to be.
Tell me about that.
I don't know if it's
Saturday?
open to the public, but it's supposed to be Saturday from 1 to 5. I was looking on their website to see what their little wine of the day or whatever is, and it said that some kind of it's like people are going there and picking up their wine. And so I guess our band is going to be playing to these members that are going there to pick up their wine. And so I thought, well, that's kind of strange. So
Well, they have bands every weekend. It's part
they
of the
do.
summer
They do
series
some
and-
acoustic on Saturdays, and they'd have bands on
So
Sundays.
you and your band, what's the
and
name of your band?
Vinyl Arcade.
Vinyl Arcade Band, and they're going to be at Bernhardt Winery on
Tomorrow. 1
tomorrow,
to 5.
Saturday, 1 to
Yeah.
5. And it is open. I checked the Bernhardt website; they're open on Saturday, so I can
Yeah.
go there and get a glass of wine, chill, and you're going to be playing. So
Yeah.
to me, we're making music, baby. We're making music.
Exactly.
I love that idea. So Vinyl Arcade this Saturday.
Correct.
Tomorrow, you
Yeah.
can go down and see them, and that's during the day, right?
Yeah, 1 to 5.
1 to 5. Super. Let's see.
Want me to do another one?
Go ahead. Yeah.
So-
I didn't even let you go there.
So this last weekend, last Sunday, we went right over here to the Pacific Yard House.
Okay.
And they have dueling pianos. Have you seen them?
I have.
Okay.
Very good.
It's Piano Punch. So it was fun. We had a good time and sang a lot of songs. I will say that I tried to get
You sang?
No.
They
you sing.
sang a
the
lot of songs.
public, like you sing along, like they stop playing, they expect you to sing
Little
some
Billy
stuff.
Joel
like,
stuff?
Yeah. Well, so we were trying to get creative with some songs and submit some songs. They won't play every song that you pay for.
No.
No.
Yeah.
But they did a grand majority of everybody's music.
Cool. And when I was in Bourbon Street, we were at Pat O'Brien's, and of course they have the dueling pianos there, or the single sometimes, and they always play a part of a song. It's never the whole song.
Right.
Even when they play your song, it's only that a bit of a
Right.
song, right? Because there's so many songs. The habit is we're never going to play the whole song. No full songs get played in this place, So unless there's nothing else and no one's requesting, sure, we'll play your whole song. But when they're coming in, the room's full. There is the little napkin jar is full of napkins. You know what I mean? And they're just
Your little request slips.
yeah, they're just
Yeah.
going through them. But anyway, Shania Twain, July 22nd at Cynthia Mitchell Woodlands Pavilion. That was a big announcement. That
Definitely.
I think 2 or 3 days ago they brought that one up, and we also have Duran Duran, June 9th. Duran. Janet Jackson, June 3rd, and.
Hopefully no Super Bowl fouls.
ZZ Top and Leonard Skinner, right? Help ticket sales,
Right.
or not.
Anything to get tickets.
Right. Anyway, July 30th, ZZ Top and Leonard Skinner at Cynthia Mitchell.
That'll be
the
a big hit.
Actual Foreigner.
Okay. Yeah.
The actual foreigner.
Yeah.
And they're coming with Loverboy,
oh, wow.
Everybody's working for the weekend.
Yep.
Whoa. Yeah, anyway, August 12th. Louis
How are
Tomlin,
they still
July
able to
8th.
get up there and do all of that? those guys are
It's not like they're lifting weights up there.
but-
It's an Olympiads. They're making music.
Yeah, it's like
Musicians
it's
can
wonderful.
grow old and musician.
It gives me hope.
All
that I
musicians
can keep
grow
going
old
until
and
I'm
musician.
80.
Hopefully you do. Everybody would hope so. It's such a soft thing. It's I try not to work on Sundays, but then so I regard things as hobbies that I can do. Like gardening,
Right.
Right.
Fishing.
fishing, right? But if I fished for a living, that would be work, right?
Right.
So I don't know what's right for one may not be right for the other in a lot of ways, more so than you would think.
Yeah.
But I think playing music as a hobby and making it your fun and joy. I mean, it's played at service. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
And they're not working.
No.
But I think all in the right mindset. So I love some. I love music. I'm totally down. That's why everything I've got on my list is music related. But I like all kinds.
Yeah.
I like all kinds, and from the Funk Phenomena, the Funk Fest at Cynthia Mitchell Woodlands Pavilion with Morris Day and the Time, I'll go straight to Disturbed, Breaking Benjamin and Ginger, Thursday, July 27th at the
Yeah.
Cynthia Mitchell Woodlands Pavilion, and I'll be in the mosh pit.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm in it. I'm throwing shoulders.
That's a little too much for me. It's not as safe for women in those pits as it is for men.
I wouldn't think so. Yeah, it does get a little crazy. I don't understand how. I don't know. At first, I was like, "What are they doing? This is
Yeah.
weird." And I'm like, "I'm getting."
then
in.
you're like,
"I'll be right back."
I'm good. I got this.
Co-Wetzel, June 10th, will be at Cynthia Mitchell Woodlands Pavilion. Louis Tomlinson, July 8th at Woodlands Mitchell Pavilion, and March 25th with the LCF Festival at B52, the Libation Creation Festival. And I have an announcement for the LCF.
Dun dun dun.
There will be a Circus Soleil type entertainment going on that are going to be coming from the rafters and it's
Swinging on scarves and
the-
spinning around and stuff.
yeah, they got the scarves, the swing, the rope, the thing. There's all kinds of
The thing.
stuff. They went through this list, and you can see it all at the maracaihouse.com, and that's MERAKIHAUS Haus. So the maracaihouse.com, and we also next week on our show next Friday, Jenna, one of the performers and a guest, will be joining us here on the show next Friday. So join us next
Fun.
Friday. Catch Jenna from Maraca House. That's not Maraca. It's Maraca. I don't know.
She's going to set you straight next week.
Yeah, she'll be here. But nevertheless, the LCF Performer Alert. She does pole, aerial, dance, and fitness on a regular for mind, body, and soul. But this particular rendition is an entertainment purpose, real similar to some of the Cirque du Soleil performance that you're used to. It'll be the opener at the LCF from 1 to 3 o'clock at B52, March 25th.
So you're saying they got to get there early to see the
They'll get there
performance.
early. They'll be able to see her from 1 to 3, or they'll catch the end of her act. And, she'll be well set up and ready to start the minute the gates open at B52, March 25th. What else you got? Anything else? Is
I
that
think-
you?
I think I'm about-
Let's see.
I'm evented out.
So, do you have any shout-outs you want to share while I see what else I have on my super list?
So I could say thank you to JoJo Tremblay.
JoJo Tremblay, Corner Cravings.
Corner Cravings, like she introduced us.
What's the air conditioning
So-
company? Advanced?
Affordable Air.
Affordable Air.
Affordable Air. Her husband Jehu. They're a great couple. They're just
I saw her hair looked fabulous
Yeah.
the other day. She
Yeah.
just, before you go out, ladies have to take their photos now. But it's only going to last a few minutes. Take your look. Get a good look.
It's either raining or it's humid.
Admire it now while you can. I'm the same way.
Yeah,
I'm the
exactly.
same way. Yeah.
And I actually network with her, so I have a networking group
cool.
with her. We meet
Level Up, right?
Yeah,
Level Up.
Level Up.
Level Up.
The net, and we our group meets at the Mezcal Mexican restaurant on 1488 in Conroe.
Okay.
And we're going to meet there on the 28th of this month
Super.
at 6 o'clock. So if there's any industries or anybody like that wants to come out and check it out and see how we can help their business grow, come on out. We'd love to have you.
Well, I don't want to go without talking about Jeff Canada and the Hummingbirds. They will be at Shanahan's on 105 West on the 24th of this month. So I think that's this weekend, right? 24th Saturday,
Yes.
Saturday?
Saturday. Or no,
Yeah.
Sunday.
Is it
Friday.
Sunday?
Friday. No, Friday.
Friday. Today.
I think that's today.
Tonight.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Well, we got to go
I
to
believe-
Shanahan's to go see Jeff Kennedy
Yeah.
tonight. Yeah,
right.
that's
Right.
happening,
Right
yeah.
after this. Like,
I
might
guess
as well head
so.
on over.
Maybe we can visit a little bit. I've been dying to see the Hummingbirds addition to his band. That's new. Jeff Canada is now Jeff Canada and the Hummingbirds. If you hadn't seen that transition for him, and that's real close to home, right there, 105 West. And we also have just a little further down the street in the city of Montgomery on March 25th. We also have the Mudbug and Music Festival coming up, and a whole host of artists. That's actually just a concert. I don't know.
Right.
It does have a kids zone and some of the things. And last year we went. There was a bull, a mechanical.
Oh,
bull.
really?
Yeah.
Okay.
But only the kids got on it. You know what I mean? So it's not like the adult one. You know,
Yeah.
like at that play. It's just not. You know, it's like just the kids
Like the
are on
Urban
there.
Cowboy or something, right? Where
Yeah,
they're
what's
like-
that place? Not Denim and Diamonds. That's
Yeah.
that other place. That's
Rowdies
that's
or-
the.
yeah.
It's in Oklahoma.
Oh, okay.
And they have like a glitter saddle and a glitter hat above
Oh,
the middle of
goodness.
the dance floor.
Yeah.
That sucker just turns around and shines the whole place. And anyway, it makes me think of some of that Dave Cawthon. You know, the musician Dave Cawthon. You got to check him out. I'll send you some of his links. But
Definitely.
folks, if you'd like to appear on the show, if you have guests or friends that want to join the show, and we've had a lot of people that help the show, sponsors that support the programming, like Barsh Auto, and he supports me in individual ways. He supports some of the events and happenings of all these events we talked about: the Mudbug Music Festival, the LCF Festival. I mean, he's got a hand in so many things that help keep entertainment on the table locally for us. It really helps if you can patron Barsh Auto, please do so. Also, we have Lake Conroe Realty came in your realty group.
Parham Realty team with Jay Parr, yeah.
There you go, Parham Realty team with Jay Parr,
And we'll
Lone
be
Star
at the
Community Radio.
LCF too.
Yeah,
Yeah, got a table there, so yeah.
they'll be
Looking
out.
forward to
They'll
it.
be out at the festival. We have so many coming. The IV Society is going to be there. The the
Hydrate.
yeah, absolutely, that's happening. And they have the of course the Marikai House.
Right.
So I think we're gonna have a lot of fun. AJ Santana and Harley Ray will be there also. We'll see everybody March 25th at the LCF. We'll also see next Friday, and we'll bring to you next Friday the Marikai House with those folks from there to talk about some of that Circus Soleil style stuff. But thank you for watching, folks. We'll see you next Friday right here on the Texas Ticket Show.
So won't you kick your feet